Alright, after collecting data, we're going to use Excel to analyze the force plate data. And don't worry if you're not familiar with Excel, because we're going to go through some examples in this video. So if you remember, there are 8 situations in today's lab: different drop height, different surface, and different ball. And so you should be able to get 8 data set, and we're going to analyze one of those today together. So you should be able to get to this page, right? That's a Google Sheet. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 situations. That because we're doing an online lab, so I've collect those data for you guys. So you can see each number is actually the force at each time point. So if we go from this one to the number 1000, that's collected in 1 second. And I don't want you guys to manipulate this table, so I highly recommend you guys to copy and paste those data onto your own Excel sheet. So I'm going to select all the data by doing Control, Shift, and down arrow. Well, magic, right? You select the whole column. And I do Control C, go to my Excel, select the first box, Control V. Then I've pasted all the data set here. Alright, and the next step, select the column 1, and then insert and find a chart. Whatever chart you like. Usually I use scatter plot. Select it. Here you'll see, wow, that's the force plate data. And apparently there are 2 peaks here. So the force was 0, 0, 0 until the instant when the ball hits the force plate. There are several, the force go up here. And then there's a flight phase here. The ball goes to in the air again and then hits a force plate in this instant. So you should be able to get a graph like this. That's lacrosse hits the steel plate and was dropped on 1.5 meter. And we know force plate will give us time data, right? That's super important. How do we get time data? Here we select this point. When it reaches the highest point, you can see it's number 1255. That means it's a number 1255 data point. I'm gonna randomly put it here, 1255. That's the first peak. That's not the amplitude of the force. That's the count of the data point. The amplitude is about 1.2 Newton here. Okay, and then the second peak, 2157. So that's 2157. So how many data points are there between 2 peaks? We can calculate here. So that equals to 2157 minus 1255, right? You got 902 data points. So how many seconds are there? We care about second, right? We know the sampling rate is 1000. So we do equals to 902 divided by 1000. You got 0.9 seconds. So that's basically how much time are there in between 2 peaks, 0.9 seconds. So if you remember, we need H1, V1, and H2, V2, right? So H1 depends on the situation. It's lacrosse dropped from 1.5 meter. So H1 is easy, 1.5 meter. And how about V1? We know that's square root of 2 times 9.8 times 1.5, right? Okay, and then H2 and V2 gotta figure out with the time here, 0.902. So V2, if you remember the equation, that was GT, right? GT. So that equals to 9.8 times, how much is T? Is it not 0.9? No, we gotta divide it by 2, right? So that's 0.902 divided by 2. It's 0.451. So that's V2. How about H2? The equation is 1 over 2 g t squared, right? So that's 1 over 2, 1 over 2 g and t squared. That's 0.451 squared. Alright, so look at the equation here, 1 over 2 g t squared. Okay, so that's all you need. And then you do v2 over v1 or h2 over h1 square root. That's all you need.